What's up, YouTube? And welcome back to KangBrosTV. Now, this is a special video because Arteta has joined Arsenal and Ancelotti has gone to Everton. So, KangBros need to make an apology in it. So, bruv, go on, man. Bruv, do the thing.
On behalf of the KangBros, I would like to extend my apologies. No, it's not even that. Listen, you know what it is? I actually said, and we were talking about this, right, with a group of friends. People have been sending for us, which is because of us, the statements that were made about we didn't ever think that Ancelotti would be doing the Everton job. Fair play. Listen, they got the guy. But what I will say is, I am done with Arsenal as a football institution. Those fans, their voices obviously is not being heard, and they're fat. Like, if you told me, I've been on holiday and I come back. There's been 2 managerial appointments. You said to me, Arteta has taken one job and the other job has gone to Ancelotti. I would have said, well, obviously Arteta's gone to Everton because he's played there. Yeah, he's more of a legend at Everton than he is at Arsenal for a start. Yeah, and Ancelotti's gone to, and I would have said, Ancelotti's gone to Arsenal. That's what I would have said. Money talks.
Brother, all I'm saying, before money talks, Judgment Day is coming. The end of days is near. From time Ancelotti is joining Everton, just like you said. Like, I think there's going to be Everton fans who are even surprised with it. Hats off, first of all, to Everton for getting that done. And
the chairman, fair play, because he's actually spent money on players. He's ex-Arsenal as well. I'm sure he's come from Arsenal, right? So you've got to look at it and say, fair play to Everton. And I eat my words. I'm sorry. I apologise. But I did not think that would happen in my time. I actually said it in previous videos that if Klopp, for whatever reason, decided that tomorrow he's done, I'd love to get Ancelotti. I've said that many times. They've gone out and done it. They've got the guy.
And now, personally, I would take Everton 100% seriously. First of all, there's a lot of fans out there saying that Ancelotti's not the right person for Everton. Are you mad? Everton have actually got a squad. We was talking about this the other day. They've actually got some serious players in that squad, and Ancelotti is a perfect guy to manage these people.
Agreed. There's players in there that have played for Barcelona who are deemed the best team across Europe. Right? That's what everyone's title has given them. That there's people that have played at that club. There's people that have played at good Premier League clubs and people with international experience. You've got a manager now that can put a stamp on things, right? And he will get the best out of these players. Arsenal, wow. Because as far as I'm concerned, you can't take no more risks no more. You can't be out here taking risks and gambles. And Arteta, I'm sorry, people might disagree with me. I don't care. I think that's you can disagree with me. That's the whole point. And I want to hear it. But tell me why you think this is not a gamble. How is it not a gamble? The guys have no managerial experience, and they want to give him the job, and they think, oh yeah, he's not. He's more of a legend at Everton than he is at Arsenal. He came from Everton to go play for Arsenal, right? And won a few FA Cups. So you're trying to tell me that's a legend?
I think it was someone like D2 mentioned it. Who else is crying out for Arteta? Who else?
I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Well, nobody.
Not even Everton.
Not even Everton are crying out for Arteta. Now, before I go on though, now that you've got Arteta, back the guy fully. We're not saying that Arteta can go there and he's going to be a flop. I'm not saying that. But what we are saying is a risk. It's definitely a risk. But he's there now. Back him. He said the right things in his first few interviews, whatever he had to say. Will he get the best out of the players? I hope he does for Arsenal's sake. But like you just said there, I'm kind of done with Arsenal. You do you carry on what you're doing, because the fact that you had Ancelotti available, and it just felt me like it was a blessing. Like the thing that you guys need a manager right now, suddenly Ancelotti is available, and you still don't take that opportunity. For me, Arsenal needed stability right now.
And that's the thing,
they needed stability.
This wasn't a video that we planned on doing, but we had to, because we have to take the L. We cussed and said this wasn't going to happen. Take the L. Yeah, we were wrong on that one, and fine. So we will come out and say fair play. But the context to it is that if you're a Leicester City, for example, if you're Leicester and you've got Brendan Rodgers, I'll guarantee you Brendan's sitting at his desk thinking top 4, because he's thinking Tottenham, miles off it, right? United, Watford are doing, they will turn them over, right? You've got Arsenal, who just aren't at the races. Everton have just signed Ancelotti, they're miles off it. So even if they went on a run, they still have to go on some run to get there, right? So you've got Liverpool and City, who are obviously setting the pace. Well, City and Leicester are the same points or whatever, right? So you're looking at, if you're Leicester, you're thinking this is a time for us to actually to stabilise a lockdown, a top 4 slot. If you're Wolves, you're looking around thinking, we got more stability than these guys. We got a better manager. We probably got a better squad. So we could probably break into that top 6 and top 4. And when have you ever thought you'd be able saying that? The top 4 now is a realistic option for these clubs. Chelsea have been average. There's not no bones about it. They've had a couple of good games, but they've been average. Yet they're knocked in. You look at them and you're thinking, these boys are certainly top 4. The opportunities are there now. The opportunities are there for these other clubs to actually make a push to break the mould, because Man United getting turned by Watford comfortably as well.
And the fans are still backing it. Like, that's what I'm so confused about. Like, as a Liverpool fan, I'm happy. You keep backing it. Keep backing Ole. That's fine. Like, maybe we're here again, making a video, taking the L about Ole, but I don't think we will. From time you're going to have Klopp until 2024 in the league, and you got Pep, you got now Ancelotti, you got Mourinho, Ole ain't going to come nowhere near that. Come on now.
Here's a question I'd love to ask the viewers, right? And I've had a lot of conversations with Man United fans of late, right? Who do you prefer in your side? Would you trade Jadon Sancho for Rashford, or would you keep Rashford ahead of Sancho if you had to choose one or the other? That's the question I'll ask you.
Why do you ask that? What's the reason behind that?
My thing is, Rashford is so underrated, right? That people are crying and screaming that Sancho's the answer. Sancho's the answer. Right?
People are also crying that Rashford is not good enough.
That's my point.
About 3 months ago, Rashford wasn't good enough. Suddenly now, Man United fans are very quiet about Rashford and suddenly saying that he's the best. Like, we've been saying for time, Rashford is levels.
The point I'm trying to make is that Manchester United believe that they can go and spend 130 million, 140 million to go get Sancho, which they probably could. But if that's the case, how much is Rashford worth? Because I personally believe someone who's done it in the Premier League, who's scoring goals in the Prem, against a guy who's scoring goals and doing bits and bobs in the Bundesliga, which is there's no obviously you're doing well, but they're not the best in the Bundesliga, right? He isn't the best player in that side. For me, Man United have got Rashford, and people say, I'm saying Man United fans tell me Sancho's better. Sancho. We should go get Sancho. So what? You're gonna just tuck Rashford to the side? You're gonna play both in the same side? What's the dynamic gonna be? Is Sancho the answer ahead of Rashford? What it proved to me is that you don't know how to manage your talent. If you've got a good talent, you don't know how to nurture a good talent.
But when they play both in the same team?
Well then, where does Martial play? Where does James play?
Well,
James has arguably been their best player.
He has been. I agree with it. I think Martial is the one that's going to get cut. And once again, I can't believe we're even saying that, because I believe that Martial is a very good striker. I've seen videos of people saying that Martial's a massive flop, but personally I think that since he's been there, he's had dog shit manager after dog shit manager, and he's just not managed the right way. That's my opinion.
My counter argument is, and this is something that we've discussed with our circles as well, the counter argument to that is, you can keep blaming the managers, but at what point do you look at the player and say, maybe you don't have what it takes to take yourself to the next level?
Well, if they start playing him,
you can only take a horse to water.
Yeah, if they start playing him, like if Ole starts playing him now consistently, playing him up front, then I will see. But at the moment, he hasn't been. He's been playing thrown out wide and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, going back to the topics of discussion, which was Everton and Arsenal, I saw polls coming in from Arsenal fans saying that is Arteta the right person for the job? There's a majority saying no, he wasn't.
It's too late. He's in.
No, he wasn't, right? So is it for you going to be a success, or is it going to be a failure for you?
I guess the other thing is, people talk about smart objectives. This is the time to have smart objectives, because what is a success for Arsenal? What is a success at the moment?
It's got to be just...
And the funny thing is, back in the day, they laughed about top 4. Oh yeah, they always get top 4. Always. Oh my God, we just always get top 4. Oh, we just... Is that a success? Is it a success? Because at the moment, for Arteta to keep Arsenal competitive is a success. But that is such a loose phrase. What is competitive? Is that going to the top 6 teams and maybe losing 1-0? Not going to Man City and getting tucked 3-0? I don't understand what the levels, what the boundaries are. What is success?
And from his comments, I think the likes of people like Aubameyang, I think we said this before, Aubameyang, Ozil and these players there, this could be it. I don't think they're going to be there. And that, for me, is even worrying in itself, because Aubameyang, if it wasn't for him, I don't even know where Arsenal would be if it wasn't for 100%. Aubameyang.
The other thing is, it's laughable, and this goes back to the Arsenal board, I think, because if you look at the decisions that are made, you need a defender, yeah? So you want to go and get a centre-back. You went out to Chelsea and signed their worst defender. As a defender, he's the worst defender. What does that say to you? What does that say? They were willing to let Luiz go and take Zuma back and start Zuma. Because that's how much they obviously rate Zuma as a better defender than they would play Tomori. So this is what I'm saying. This is where it's all flawed at that place. And that's why we take the L. Ancelotti, respect. Everton, well done.
But Everton, right? So there were fans saying, keep Big Dunk, right? Now, for me, I was very surprised by that, but fair play to a Big Dunk because he come in and actually put some stability in there. He got some
he
results.
also knows what Everton is.
Yeah, right? So for you, is there a risk with this appointment for Everton? Could it go wrong?
There's always a risk in an appointment, but I think the risk reward. I think this is a less of a risk and more reward for me, because again it goes down to what is deemed a success. If Everton are competing in the top 6, that is a success. Mm-hmm. That's a massive success. If they're anything above 10th, they are happy and they got a cup run. They're happy. If he went and won a cup, he'd be going down as one of the greatest managers ever at Everton, because it's been so long. And that's not disrespect, that's just honesty.
And the thing is, I back him to do that.
100%.
I actually back him to do that. If you've got Everton going into the semi-final now, and you've got Ancelotti, I'm thinking differently about Everton. But me personally, that's what I'm saying. And right now, if I see Everton in the semi-final, I think as soon as they get Man City or as soon as they get a top team, they're going out, right? But now, I'm thinking, you know what? Ancelotti's got tricks up his sleeve. He knows how to get things done. So this one for me is...
Liverpool have got to play Everton in the FA Cup. I fully expect Everton to win that game. I fully expect Everton to win that game. With Liverpool, with a fixture pilot, with what their priorities are at the moment.
I don't know about
that.
But now it's a game, though. That's what I'm saying. Now it's a game, right? And that's what I'm saying. Now I'm taking Everton in a different light. If I look back on it, for years and years...
And they'll spend money. In January, they'll spend money.
And imagine about attracting players coming to play for Ancelotti. As I say, if Ancelotti was the manager of Arsenal, do you think Aubameyang would be going anywhere? Nope. Because he would know how to deal with him.
Koulibaly, right, to Arsenal then would have been likely. That could have been on the cards.
Yes.
Dries Mertens, right, apparently he's into his late doors of his contract. So I'm just saying now, the Premier League is the best league in the world. I think, competitive. I don't say skill level, but competitive-wise. And that's why the top managers want to be there, because there's a big P, but there's also opportunities to do stuff there now because the door's open. So you'll be surprised to see... don't be surprised to see Everton, causing problems now, because they've got somebody in charge who's actually serious. He's actually a serious manager. And that's when you look at Arsenal and you think to yourself, you're a laughingstock. Allegri was available. Everyone wanted Allegri. He was free. They went and got Arteta. They paid to go and get Arteta. So it obviously wasn't to do with paying the money, because he was in the job. Allegri was out of a job and you had to pay some compensation for Ancelotti. Yes, Ancelotti's getting paid big dough, but that CV warrants big dough.
How has Arteta just skipped Henry? So
Vieira.
Yeah, Vieira, Henry. These are the actual legends of Arsenal. They've actually gone and managed.
Ljungberg is a bigger legend than Arteta at Arsenal. And yet he gets disrespected like that. He don't even get a backroom staff. Come on, now.
I don't get it. Like what? Just because he's hanging around Pep, he's going to be like Pep. Like I said, I wish you all the best. I hope he does something and he does get Arsenal back to where they want to be. But for me, like I said, if you have Ancelotti available, this is a no-brainer. Arsenal fans laughed at me when I said go get Rafa. They laughed at me when I said go get Brendan. So I don't get Arsenal fans.
Yeah. And the thing is, the reason this has nothing to do with bashing Arsenal or bashing Everton or United or whatever. We had to take the L because we actually said Arsenal, it will be done. It's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. We got it wrong. But if that's our opinion and we got it wrong, we'll back it, and that's the justification. I'm baffled as to why he hasn't gone there and he's gone to Everton, and it makes me nervous.
So there's a lot of topics there that we've discussed, so let us know your opinions on those. Have a good Christmas, everyone, and we will see you in the Boxing Day football against Leicester. So don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment.